Alright guys, time for topic number 3. Topic number 3 is Hawkeye. Hawkeye Season 1. Was it good? Was it bad? Was it in between? Well, to be honest with you, I found it to be one of the stronger of the Disney Plus Marvel series. And that being said, it's funny, I've enjoyed all the Marvel MCU Disney Plus series, but they've all kind of left me wanting more. And honestly, maybe it's a good thing that they left me wanting more because I want to keep going back. But at the same time, they left me wanting more because I didn't feel like, honestly, when I go back and look at the Disney MCU shows, I don't feel like any of them tell a consequential story. Like, I don't feel like any of them are required viewing for the MCU. Now, we don't know about Loki yet, you know. Loki, how he's going to fit into this whole multiverse story, we're not sure yet. But I definitely don't feel like Falcon and Winter Soldier was essential viewing. I didn't feel like What If was essential viewing. WandaVision, honestly, I loved WandaVision. It's my favorite MCU show yet. But I didn't feel like it was essential viewing. I'm sorry. I know that's horrible. And maybe things are going to happen down the line that are going to make all these essential viewing. But right now, I'm just like, they didn't tell a story that I feel like has to be present to understand the movies. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm going to end up being wrong on all those. But for Hawkeye, I kind of feel like it had the same problem. It told a very small story that I don't feel felt very consequential. Like it was required viewing. So that being said, there are things that I liked in Hawkeye and there are things that I did not like. Overall, I really like the show. I think it's one of my favorite. But again, I don't feel like it was very consequential. So let's talk about the bad things first. Let's get the bad things out of the way. The tracksuit mafia was awful. I hated the tracksuit mafia. It's like we're in the MCU now. We are in a universe populated with superheroes. There's a superhero in every corner of the United States, almost every corner of the world by this point. Literally, every corner of the world there's a superhero. So how a organization like the Tracksuit Mafia could amass any power, given the fact that they're all bumbling idiots, is beyond me. That was a little bit hard. That was kind of a hard pill for me to swallow. So the Tracksuit Mafia was not very good. And they had such a presence in this movie, or in this show, that I just really felt like, I really felt like they kind of let us down. They kind of dropped the ball on the Tracksuit Mafia. They kind of used these antagonists as comic relief, and that doesn't make them very antagonizing. Next, it was too short. Coming in at 6 episodes, each episode around a half hour long, I just feel like we're in this age right now of TV shows where the average TV show is like 8 episodes long. What happened to the age where episodes were 23 episodes, 22 episodes long? Now, granted, I know when you have a 23 episode season, you get some filler episodes, but at the same time, there isn't much difference between a 6 hour or a 6 episode, 30 minute per episode show and a movie. If we're going to do long-form storytelling, let's use long-form storytelling and tell longer stories. And I just don't feel... I felt like this felt like a movie that was divided into 6 sections. I did not feel like this was a TV show. I felt like the episodes were too short and the season was too short. So, unfortunately, I felt like they definitely cut Hawkeye short, they cut Kate Bishop short, and they cut Yelena short. And honestly, Hawkeye got cut short more than anybody. This really was Kate Bishop's show. More than Hawkeye's show, it was Kate Bishop's show. I'd be interested in finding out if anybody does any line counting, how many lines each character has in the show. I bet Kate Bishop has more lines than Hawkeye. I bet she does. Alright. Another thing I didn't like, and I'm sorry. Again, those tomatoes are ready. Kingpin. I don't like Kingpin. Alright? Now, I love Daredevil Seasons 1, 2, and 3. Those are about the only Netflix MCU shows that I liked. I liked Punisher, I guess. Jessica Jones Season 1 was okay. The rest of the Netflix shows were garbage. Let's just be honest. They were garbage. Or at least, in my subjective opinion, they were. But, Kingpin sucked in this. Alright? He sucked. No, it was Vincent D'Onofrio, and that was great. Everybody wanted Vincent D'Onofrio back. I don't believe this is the same Kingpin as was in Daredevil. Can't convince me of it. Can't convince me of it. What happened to his sense of style? What happened to his the Kingpin from Daredevil season 3 that got in the fight with Daredevil and Bullseye? At the end of that season, he would have ripped Kate Bishop in half. Ripped her in half. There would have been no fight. It would have been him destroying her. They said, I remember this Vincent D'Onofrio, he said he got leveled up. He was stronger in this than he was in the Daredevil show, because he got shot with an arrow and he was able to break it off. And him being able to take a lot of damage does not make him stronger. He got his butt kicked by a 20-year-old girl. That's not the Kingpin from Daredevil. I was not a fan of this Kingpin. I was not a fan of this version of Kingpin, and honestly, I hope that he's a variant of the Daredevil version of Kingpin, because this version of Kingpin stained the original Vincent D'Onofrio Kingpin, as far as I'm concerned. So it was not a good interpretation. I hated it. His style, his even the way that he approached Kate Bishop's mom, the way that he interacted with her, it was almost like, I don't know, the whole thing just felt off to me. All right, so Kingpin, hated him. All right, let's talk about the good. Those are the 3 things I hated. So not much. Let's talk about the good. Kate Bishop was wonderful. Haley Steinfeld is she's a up-and-coming great actress. I loved her in Bumblebee. She was fantastic in this. Her wit and her charm was equal to that of Jeremy Renner's, and they played off of each other great. One of my favorite moments in the series was when she brought the package of Christmas stuff so they could have a Christmas party together. I thought that Kate Bishop was wonderful. All right. The next thing that I liked was Yelena. Yelena is still the best part of Black Widow, and Yelena is one of the bright spots in the MCU right now. Because the MCU, let's face it, ever since Endgame, the MCU has been struggling to find its footing. Not all the movies have been good. Some of them have been bad. And Yelena has been a bright spot moving forward. I think she's going to play a pivotal role in the MCU, and excited to see where she goes next. My favorite scene with Yelena was when she had macaroni with Kate Bishop. I thought that was just, there was so much being said without being said in that scene, and I loved it. All right. Next thing that I liked was Clint's relationship with his family. All right, I'm a family man, and I get, juggling that work, family life. I get that. Now, obviously, Clint's is far more extreme, being an Avenger and whatnot, but still, at its heart, at its core, he's juggling work and family life, and that can be a chore for anybody, and it's very relatable. It's very nice seeing the way he interacts with his kids, and it's very nice seeing the way that he interacts with his wife. And by the way, his wife is going to be a much bigger character in the MCU moving forward, I do believe. All right, the next thing that I liked was Echo. I don't know that I liked her enough that I think that she warrants her own show, but she had a lot of intensity, and her fight scenes were convincing, and I just found the character to be intriguing. Like I said, I don't think she's intriguing enough that I'm excited about a show, but I am intrigued enough that I would love if she would pop up in someone else's show again, at even a bigger role. A Daredevil show would be wonderful. So Echo was very good. Finally, the last thing that I really liked in Hawkeye was the Christmas setting. It was nice having an MC. The MCU, they've played with genres, right? They've played with political thrillers. They've played with kind of the John Hughes teenage high school movies. They played with genres, and this was the Christmas genre. There is a genre of Christmas movies, and I felt like this was very much in that Christmas genre, with the music, with the themes. It was all playing with that genre, and it all felt very heartwarming at times, and definitely, is something that I think could be in a Christmas rotation for people. I would love it if they would come out with what would it be, like a 3.5 hour uncut edition to where they play it like a movie. I think that'd be a lot of fun. I think a lot of people would watch that at Christmas time. So, guys, I really liked Hawkeye. I thought it was really well done. I'm really hoping to actually get a season 2. I'm sure that Kate Bishop is going to start popping up in other people's properties, but a season 2 exploring Kate and Clint's relationship as well as who Laura Barton is. I think that would be a lot of fun, and I think fans would really like to see that. So, what did you think of the first season of Hawkeye? Let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, let's go to our next topic.